This is What's for Dinner. I'm Wayna. Today we're gonna show you how to pickle. Well, this is Chinese pickling, but pretty much I think the Chinese and Western pickling are the same. It's just that depending on who's making it, I think every family has their own recipe. It's really up to you what you would like to use and what the flavor that matches your memory, which I find is the best taste. Let's get to it. The ingredients are cabbage, napa cabbage, carrot, fresh ginger. We don't have young ginger, so we just use regular ginger. String beans, Thai chili or bird's eye chili. Fresh string beans, you should be able to just tie it into a knot like this and it wouldn't break. So choosing the freshest string beans is really important. And how you can check it is that by checking the color. Is it bright green or like a dark green? But it shouldn't be too wrinkly. So here is a knot. It's easier to be tied into a knot and take it out, otherwise it will get caught with other stuff. Now set the knotted string beans to a side. We're gonna start preparing the cabbage. Our container is a little bit small, so I'm gonna choose to cut it into smaller pieces. If you have a big one, you don't have to do that. Take off the stem because it's bitter. I like to cut it diagonally. It doesn't have to be like too pretty, just whatever. Now we're gonna cut the carrot. If you cut it into little thicker strips or sticks, that's easier for the pickling, because I feel like it will still retain the crunchiness. I feel like I probably need to get the knife sharpened again, but it's probably totally just the carrot's fault for being too hard. I chose to scrape off some of the older ginger skin because I feel like it might affect the taste later on when you put it into like food, like 鱼香茄子, like eggplant cooked as fish style. I'm not sure. You must have had it unless you wouldn't be watching this. Or if you haven't tried it, let us know. We're happy to make a video about that for you. It's okay to be like this, I feel like, for my standards anyways. You can take it all off. I don't have that kind of patience. If you bought the young ginger, you wouldn't have this problem. So if you can really find it, it will be better that you buy it. Even though sometimes I feel like it's a little bit pricey compared to the regular ginger. And then the chili, we can just put it in as is. You don't have to open it or anything. It's just easier to work with that way. You can choose to put in whatever spice that you prefer. I have star anise, fennel seeds, and Sichuan peppercorn. I have some cinnamon, but this is the Chinese cinnamon. It's a little bit different than the Western cinnamon stick. You can find it in most Asian stores. And then I have some bay leaves over here. That's all I'm gonna use. Actually, I forgot to mention, I also put 2 cloves because I don't quite like the smell of it, but I feel like it will add a little bit of complexity to the taste. And then I'll put all of these into a little baggie like this, just to keep it. I have tried it just to pour it in, but later on it gets caught onto everything. I just didn't like that as much, so I chose to put it in a little bag just to keep it clean and content. And then you can seal it like this, but you wouldn't use this until the very end because you will put this on the very, very top, so you can always remove it or something. And then for the salt for today, my grandma just told me to use whatever, or just like table salt, but later on I did a lot of research on my own. I realized the most soft and delicate taste are actually from pure salt. So you can use sea salt. This is the only one that I can find, or you can find rock salt. Just make sure that you read the ingredient. It says just has salt on it. Doesn't have the anti-caking ingredient, doesn't have, you know, any of the iodine. That's the best salt that I will use. That's most of what the pickling salt are, so just find whatever you can find that's, you know, a little bit more coarse, and also just pure salt. What kind of vegetables that you would choose are the bulky ones, or I will say like meaty on its own, and it doesn't have too much moisture in itself. I don't know why, it's just better, okay? This is just from my experience and from people that has been making this for a long time. That's what they told me, and that's also from my own experiments. I felt like that worked the best. And you just want to put the ones that you wouldn't be taking out quite often, like you wouldn't be using it as a side dish or breakfast or like an appetizer very much, on the bottom, which will be cabbage for me, because I will only use this to cook like the fish dish or something, and then it will usually stay on the bottom for the longest time, depending on how you like it to look. But I'll just put this one on the bottom because I don't think I'll be taking this one out as much, but might be the same amount as the string beans, so I would just put them together side by side on the same level of my hierarchy of preference. Okay, so all of the ingredients are in there. I'll put the final bit of a salt on top. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. It's a kind of just like food for, you know, the good bacteria to help ferment all of these vegetables. I'll like pure cane sugar just because it has a better taste. I'll just put like this much in it. It's kind of, let me find out if I can fit it in actually. Might just have to squeeze it in. Okay, I think that will do, because there's some room in the lid. I think that will be fine. And then I'm gonna put in as like a starter from my old jar. If you like somebody's homemade pickle, you can borrow some of their juice and use it for your own new starters, or you can use the pickled chili that they have in the Asian market. If you don't have like an older pickle juice, you can buy those kind of like little red small radish. Just need to wash it up and let it dry for a little bit, and then you just put it in. I actually use just straight tap water for it, because I find it if you use like pre-boiled water and cool it down to make it, it's really hard to maintain. Just use straight tap water, trust me, take my word. I'll save some room for putting in like a high alcohol volume like vodka or like Chinese baijiu. US tax for high alcohol content for like Chinese baijiu is way too expensive, so I'm just gonna use good old vodka. Okay, now closing it is gonna be hard. Oh my god. Yeah, this happens. It's fine. Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing here, please give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe. If you have any idea about something that you haven't tried that's amazing but not sure how to make it, shoot us a comment down below and let us know. We'll help you out. See you next time!